Crest comes to St. Paul on senior night on the 22nd. So you got 3 opportunities to watch home games besides Sub-State. Tonight, Oswego comes to town. Friday night, Yates Center comes to town. And then next Thursday, the 22nd, Crest comes to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. And then the week after that, the seedings will come out for the Sub-State that's held here at St. Paul. 5 teams in our Sub-State, so it'll be interesting how all the seeds come. The boys coming off a tough loss last night to Southern Coffey County. I think they ended up losing by 12 last night. And the Indians' shooting woes, the boys, just continue as they struggle to make a shot from the outside and also struggled last night on the rebounding side of it. So look for them to get things corrected here tonight versus Oswego. And a very good Yates Center team comes to town Friday night. So that'll be interesting to see how the Indians react tonight, see if they can gain some confidence going into the last couple games of the year. We're going to take a little break here. You're listening to the Richie's Pharmacy pregame show, and our title sponsor is Farmers Bank. Go visit Joe and Josh for all your banking needs. So we want to make sure we thank all our sponsors. Our tip-off sponsor will be brought to you by Styles Fitness and more tonight. Our timeouts, they'll be brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. Our halftime show is brought to you by St. Paul Tire and Lube. Our post-game show will be brought to you by KW Trucking, and our player of the game will be brought to you by Derailed Commodity. There's about 4 minutes till tip-off. Mike will go over starting lineups when we come back from this 2-minute timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse and our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show. Dan Bitt alongside Mike McCracken. Mike, what do you got for starting lineups?
Well, I don't have starting lineups, Dan. You kind of threw me under the bus there, but we'll find out here in a minute. They're going to read them off, and we'll give them to them as we get them, but we don't have them right now. I seen that one coming, but it's okay. we can manage through it, so it's all good.
I thought that was the color man's job to get all that lined out.
Well, you know what? It is sometimes.
About 1:48 until tip-off. We're going to have the national anthem here in just a minute, and we'll also have the starting lineup. Our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show here tonight. Well, we're looking for a good Three Rivers game here, Mike. Southern Coffee County, as we run down the stretch here, a lot of Three Rivers games down the stretch, so you want to build momentum going into Sub-State, but you also got league titles on the line.
You got the league going as well, so there's a lot of things going on, and when you have 3 games in a week like this with just one day off, or Wednesday, and then you got Thursday off, play again Friday, but 3 games in a week's a lot of basketball to play as you round out the meat part of the season here, and it's just been kind of a grind since school got back in session here in January. We knew it would be, and so did the girls, but I think they're ready to go tonight.
As we get set for the national anthem, going to be played by the band here. We'll go ahead and stay here and just try to turn the mic volume up as we get set. Looks like the choir and the band both going to play together here, so it's going to be a real treat for us here tonight. Always do such a nice job, and never gets old seeing the big flag rolling down from the ceiling in memory of Lyle Casey, donated by Lyle's family. So
that's really been a good addition here to the Billy Fager Fieldhouse, getting that big flag to come down.
As we get set for the national anthem here.
Testing, testing. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and move your hats. Direct your attention to center court and our nation's flag. At this time, the St. Paul Band and Choir under the direction of Mr. James Harris will perform our national anthem.
Nice job there by the choir and the band as we get set for the Styles Fitness and More tip-off here, Mike. What do you look for the girls to come out and do tonight?
Well, I look for them to do what they normally do on defense. I think we've seen that all season long. They're going to run that man-to-man defense and just dare someone to try to come up with an answer for it. So far, it's worked pretty well for them. But I also think we're going to see them working on keeping that shooting percentage high. They did a really good job of that last night. They ended up doing a lot better. So getting ready to do the starting lineups here. And get them for you now as they introduce them onto the floor. Both teams lined up. Got the bench players lined up in double rows to greet the starters as they come through. Looks like for St. Paul, Taylor Watrick gets the start for St. Paul.
Mike, I want to make sure that everybody knows, if you want to know how the sub-state seating starts racking up here or lining up going into sub-state the last couple weeks, just get on Keisha's website and click on the athletic and down to basketball, and you can look at every division there is, 6A clear through 1A2, and see how the seating's kind of laid out. It's a nice new attachment to Keisha.
Can we go ahead and start lineups now?
Yes, sir. I was just trying to help you out until they actually started the lineups.
For Oswego, number 3, Riley Vale. Taylor Watrick, I mentioned, for St. Paul, number 12. For St. Paul, Sydney McCracken. It's her birthday today, so we'll be watching her get some baskets for her birthday. For Oswego, number 10, the 5'8 senior, Rachel Schenker. For St. Paul, number 15, the senior, Sydney Rice. And also number 22, the senior, Caitlin O'Brien. For Oswego, number 14, a 5'8 sophomore, Abby Long. Now comes out Sydney Rice. They got backwards in order there on the introductions on them.
Sure is a lot of dead airspace, Mike.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to follow along with Mr. Turlip. He's got them backwards on me. You got him throwing curves and you throwing curves. I'm just trying to keep up. Last for Oswego, number 30, Shaylin Phillips, a 5'3 sophomore. And lastly but not least for St. Paul, number 32, the senior, Emily Winter. So for Oswego, you've got Vale, Schenker, Long, Phillips, and one more that I missed. You distracted me.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. As there's 8 minutes on the clock as we get set for the Styles Fitness and More. Mike's feeling a little froggy tonight.
Well,
Number 30, who else we got? Maybe nope, we got number 14. Well, I have to say, Mike, I do a lot better job of starting lineups.
Well,
than
you
do,
normally do the starting lineups, and then you want me to do them tonight.
Well,
I've been ready if I had a little heads
trying
up.
to expand your
It's good. I get
knowledge and your.
Well, yeah, I can do it.
As each team gathers around their coaches and finishes things up in the Richie's Pharmacy pregame shows, we get set for our Styles, Fitness, and More tip-off. So for the Lady Indians, it's going to be Winter, Rice, O'Brien, McCracken, and Watrick. Taylor Watrick, as I said earlier, coming off an unbelievable shooting display last night. 20 points in the first half for Watrick.
For Oswego, Kaylee Ramsey's the player we were missing.
5'8" senior Ramsey. The tip is controlled by the Lady Indians, so this game is underway. Rice with the ball, right wing over to O'Brien. O'Brien held a little bit quiet in the first half last night. Ended up being the second highest score for the Lady Indians, but coming off of a good game as the Indians scored 48 points, and only 2 of them last night in the first half was made by Caitlin O'Brien, the senior. So that shows you how much the other girls scored. And this is all with Emily Hutcherson injured and on the bench and did not play. McCracken, three-pointer off, no good. No birthday present on the first shot for Sydney, but she'll come around. It goes out of bounds and goes back to the Oswego Indians. It's Battle of the Tom Tom here tonight.
That's right. It'll be Indians versus Indians tonight.
Back down comes Oswego on the floor, and it's going to stay with Oswego, it looks like. 7:20 just underway here in the ball game. No score. Oswego basketball. Backside pass is kicked. It was intended for Ramsey. Knocked out of bounds as Schinker gets set to put the ball in play for Oswego. Schinker with the ball, feeds it up top. Ooh, that could have been a foul on Watrick as Vale comes up with it. Watrick on her, over to the right wing. That's Phillips with the basketball. Ends up in Ramsey's hand. Now back to Vale. Vale has the ball on the floor, picked up by Oswego, picked up by Long, and she travels with the basketball, so turnover on Oswego. Gives it back to the Lady Indians. St. Paul Indians. I have to remember to say St. Paul and Oswego here tonight because it's the Indians versus the Indians. Watrick with the basketball, crosses half court. Rice at right wing with the basketball. Kicks it up top to Winter, reverses it over to O'Brien. She dribbles all the way around the right side, kicks it out to Watrick. Three-pointer on the way, Long, no good. Rebound controlled by Oswego by Ramsey.
Taylor Watrick, hot hand first half last night.
She strips the ball away from Vale. Now Rice with it all the way down. Layup no good. No foul call. Boy, swallowing the whistles here tonight. Now the ball's loose. Rice comes out of there with it. Shot in front of the rim. Good. Sydney Rice gets the Lady St. Paul Indians on the scoreboard first, and they lead 2-0 as Watrick pesters Vale. Vale crosses the timeline all the way in. She's going to be fouled on Watrick and send her to the line to shoot 2.
Watrick really playing aggressively on defense.
Doing a good job moving her feet, creating problems. Vale at the line to shoot 2. First free throw is on the way and right through there. Oswego cuts it into the Indians' 2-0 lead. It is now 2-1. As Dennison comes to the scores table for Oswego as Vale makes both her free throws. Sub comes into the game as Dennison. She comes in for Vale. Dennison, just a freshman, 5'7" freshman. Rice with the basketball for the Lady Indians. The score's tied 2-2. Right wing over to O'Brien. Zone applied by Oswego. Nope, now it's a man-to-man as they match up in a man-to-man. Kind of a sagging man-to-man. Three-pointer by O'Brien. Off the rim, no good. Watrick chases it down. Tipped out of there by Rice. Now McCracken with it. Kicks it out to Watrick. Watrick ball fake inside out to O'Brien. Sets her feet again. Three-pointer off the rim, no good. Rebound, Oswego. So that Indians are not going to shoot to this point 80% from the field from three-point land. They've yet to connect on their first 4. There's a walk by Dennison, who just came into the game, as Katie Carter, the young freshman, going to get some early playing time. Comes in for Watrick. Just one team foul on the St. Paul Indians to start this game. None on Oswego. 5:25 left to go in the first. Rice with the basketball for the Lady Indians. Over to O'Brien, up top to Carter. Back to Rice, now up top to McCracken. Back to O'Brien, she looks inside, nobody there. Dribbles top of the key, kicks over to Rice at right wing. Now down to McCracken, baseline, now inside to Winter, front of the block. Good shot by Emily Winter. Good inlet pass from McCracken to Winter. Give McCracken the assist as Winter scores from the block and gives the Indians a 4-2 lead. Backdoor cut, not open, over her head. Pass was intended for Phillips as she got past Carter. Errant pass goes out of bounds, so it's back to the St. Paul Indians. Rice with the basketball. Off to O'Brien at right wing. Up to Carter, up the timeline. Over to Rice, left wing, up top to McCracken. She reverses it to Katie Carter. Back up top to O'Brien. Good motion by the Lady Indians. And a pass inside to Winter from the block, and she misses it just a little too strong. Rebound, Oswego. Emily Winter really working hard on the blocks down there, Mike.
Yeah, Emily doing a lot of work underneath. That's going to be a good matchup.
Still by Rice. Rice one-on-one against Vale, and she's going to be fouled. And she can go line to shoot too. Is actually Vale just kind of stopped. Rice got hung up on top of her, but got the call. First team foul on Oswego, first on Vale. Rice goes to the line to shoot two. First shot on its way and in. Rattles in as Katie Coombs checks into the ball game for Emily Winter. Rice settles in. Second shot on its way. In and out, no good. 5-2. Indians up by 3. St. Paul Indians up by 3. I think everybody right wing. Now back up top for the Lady Indians. For Oswego. And that's going to be Schinker, guarded by Carter. Now Vale, pestered out there by Rice. Left wing, Schinker with the ball.
That's Phillips with the ball.
Excuse me, Phillips to Vale. Vale dribbles back up top. She reverses it, Ramsey. Now back to Phillips. And that's going to be a walk against Phillips, so it's turnover against Phillips. Gives it back to St. Paul as Dennison checks back into the game for Oswego.
Turnovers hurting Oswego here early. That man defense making them really work there and taking an extra step trying to get close enough to the basket.
5-2. St. Paul up by 3. 3:27. Boy, I'm going to say Indians about 100 times, and you're not going to know who I'm talking about, but St. Paul with the basketball. Off to O'Brien. Back up top to Rice. Three-pointer by her. Off, no good. Long, just a little long off the back iron. Vale with Oswego with the basketball. Crosses the timeline. Feeds it to Ramsey. Ramsey guarded by McCracken. Now back to Vale. Vale gets off the Dennison. Back to Vale as they run their weave. She feeds it off to Ramsey. Ramsey to Dennison. Drives on Carter, tries to kick it out and knocked out of bounds by Caitlin O'Brien. Winter and Watrick both come to the scorer's table for the St. Paul Indians. For McCracken and O'Brien. 2:46 left to go in the first. 5-2. St. Paul leads by 3. Lob inside. Ramsey shot no good. Coombs with the rebound. Feeds it to Watrick. Good inlet pass by Oswego, but Ramsey couldn't get the shot to go from the block. Carter up top with it. Over to Emily Winter. Back to Watrick. To Katie Carter at right wing. Up top to Coombs. Reverses it to Rice. Oswego really sagging in that man-to-man. Everybody inside the three-point arc by at least 3 foot, except for the person on the ball. Feed into Coombs is off her hand and out of bounds, so it goes back to Oswego.
Yeah, they're really jamming up the middle there, making it hard for Katie Coombs, Emily Winter to do anything underneath.
St. Paul with a height advantage. Think they could do some damage on the post, but have yet been held pretty quiet here. They lead 5-2 with under 2 left to go here in the first. Vale with the basketball towards the elbow. Kicks it out to Long. 3-point shot on its way and right through there by Schienecker. 5'8" senior ties the score at 5. Rice with the basketball for the Lady Indians. 1:37 left to go in the first. Off to Winter. Winter picks up her dribble, feeds it out to Carter. Down to Rice at left wing. Rice into the lane, kicks it out to Winter. 3-point shot from the baseline. Off, no good. Rebound, Rice. Rice layup, put back good. Good work on the rebound and by Sydney Rice. She gives the St. Paul a 7-5 lead. 1:10 left to go here in the first. Long down at the baseline on the right side, guarded by Coombs. She feeds it up top to Dennison. Lob inside, it's tipped up in the air, stolen by Rice. Rice pushes the ball up the court, crosses over, loses it, and out of bounds off of her. It goes right back to Oswego. Less than a minute to go in the first. 50.6 seconds left to go in the first. Vale with the basketball for the Oswego Indians. Often Long at right wing. Back up top now, reverses it over to Vale. Vale feeds it up top to Schenker. Now feed inside, layup no good. Ball tipped around out of bounds. It'll stay with Oswego. Is that Schenker or Schenker?
It's Schenker.
Schenker for Oswego. Now Dennison set to put the ball in play for Oswego. Feeds it up top to Vale. 29 seconds left to go in the first. Back to Dennison. Feed inside, stolen away by Watrick on a little bit of a high pass. Watrick pushes the ball all the way down. Layup, no good, but she's fouled. So she'll go to the line to shoot two. Just the second team foul on Oswego. Only one on the Lady Indians. So polar opposite of last night. The Lady Indians got a little foul trouble in that game last night. Watrick goes to the line to shoot two.
Letting them play out here tonight, that's for sure.
First shot's on its way and rattles in. Crawls over the front of the rim. As Watrick settles in for her second. 19.5 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. St. Paul leads 9-5 as Watrick cans her second free throw. Vale feeds it into Schenker. Back to Vale. 15 seconds left. Feed inside, wide open. Ramsey shot no good. Winner with the rebound. 10 seconds left. Needs to push the ball up the floor. 6 seconds. Stops. Feeds it to Rice. 3 seconds. Rice three-pointer top the key off the bank. No good. And that's the end of the first quarter. The Lady Indians lead 9-5. We'll be back at this 1-minute timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. St. Paul leads 9-5 at the end of the first quarter. Not quite the shooting performance tonight as of yet for the Lady Indians, but they lead 9-5. They start the second quarter with possession of the basketball. Lob inside to O'Brien. Double teamed in there. Tough shot. Winner with the rebound. Put back good. Good work by the two seniors. O'Brien double teamed on that shot from the left block. That left Winner open on the weak side for the rebound. She puts it back up and in. Lady Indians lead. St. Paul leads 11-5. Long with the basketball, tries to feed it inside to Vale, and it's going to be out of bounds as Schenecker tried to save it on the baseline. It goes back to St. Paul off the turnover. St. Paul leads by 6, 7:23 left to go here in the first half. Pretty good crowd on hand here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, not a bad crowd here at all for the girls' game early.
McCracken up top with the basketball over to Watrick. Back up top to O'Brien. Three-pointer top the key, high, off the bank, no good. Watrick in there for the rebound. Watrick sets her feet, three-pointer. Good! Taylor Watrick cans a three from the right wing. First one for the Lady Indians tonight, St. Paul Indians. 14-5, St. Paul leads, 6:50 left to go here in the second quarter. Schenecker with the basketball, drives against O'Brien. O'Brien cuts her off. She feeds it back to Dennison. Now pass is on the floor. Watrick scrapping for it. Now Watrick comes up with it. Now it's loose on the floor. Oswego comes up with it. Now Winter ties up Ramsey. And it's going to be a possession arrow is going to go to Oswego on the jump ball.
Getting pretty wild out there for a little bit.
Dennison with the basketball for Oswego. And that's going to be a 5-second call. Pretty quick 5-second call in my opinion too, but 5-second call, 14-5. Lady Indians lead by 9. St. Paul Lady Indians lead by 9. Right wing to McCracken, up top to O'Brien. Over to Coombs, and that's going to be a foul on Winter, I believe, on the post-up.
Winter's working hard down in there.
Post player needs to get at least one of them a night.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Just so you know where to draw the line in the sand with the ref.
Go till they don't let you go no more. That's right.
So now Emily knows how much she can push.
Coach Tuck making sure he understands exactly how far she can go too, I think.
Coombs comes out, Rice goes back in, so right now it's Rice, Winter, McCracken, O'Brien, and Watrick in the game. Vale brings the basketball down the court. Rice picks her up at the top of the key. She swings it off to the right wing to Phillips. Phillips to Ramsey. Ramsey guarded by McCracken, picks up her dribble. Now she tries to feed it back to Vale, still stolen by Rice. Rice feeds it ahead to McCracken. McCracken all the way in, shot from the baseline, no good. Rebound Oswego. Here comes Vale right back down with the basketball. Off to Ramsey. Ramsey feeds it back to Vale up above the timeline. She crosses over against Rice. She drives on Rice, kicks it out to Schenecker. Schenecker to Ramsey. Ramsey towards the elbow, picks up her dribble. McCracken on her tightly. Now backdoor cut by Vale, shot up and good as she got behind Rice. 14-7, 7-point lead for the St. Paul. 5:10 left to go here before halftime. Rice at right wing, up top to O'Brien. Now to McCracken. Off to Watrick, three-pointer on the way, good! Taylor Watrick warming up from the outside, back-to-back threes from her. 10-point lead for the Lady St. Paul Indians. Now ball loose, and Watrick chases it down, feeds it ahead to O'Brien on a bad pass, and it goes right back to Oswego. Watrick trying to feed that ball on a fast break, but fed it to the inside shoulder of O'Brien, and there's an Oswego Indian there. Rice tries to pick the pocket of Vale, and now O'Brien knocks the ball loose. It's out of bounds, going to be out on O'Brien. They'll stay with Oswego as Katie Coombs checks back into the ball game for Emily Winter. Just 2 team fouls on each team, so not too many whistles here.
No,
Mike.
not a lot of whistles. Letting them play and playing aggressively. I'd say there's a lot of games where some of these things would have been called for fouls. You know, you like to let them play though, and let them. You know, it doesn't hurt anything to let them play.
Shedrick in the game for Oswego now. Guarded by O'Brien. Now the ball's loose on the floor. Sydney Rice trying to use her speed. Threw it between the legs, save back to Watrick. What a play and now a feed into Coombs, layup good. What a good ball movement by the Lady Indians. all started by the hustle by Rice.
That's right.
As she got right to the baseline, the only way she could save it was tap it between her legs, and it went clear back to the timeline to Watrick, who was trailing the play. And eventually they found Coombs wide open at the block, and she makes it. Watrick pokes it away again. Rice chasing it again. Rice crosses over into the lane. Shot up, no good. Rebound Oswego. Dennison with the rebound. Vale right back down with the basketball. And she, I thought she
called travel.
So did I. It's going to be a block on Coombs. As Carter and Winter checks back into the game for Rice and Coombs. Rice with that hustle needs a bit of a breather. Oswego basketball under their own rim. The count is on. Lob into Ramsey in front of the rim. Short. Rebound loose on the floor. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession error is going to go to St. Paul. St. Paul basketball as McCracken set to put the ball in play for the St. Paul Indians. Watrick with the basketball up by the timeline. Feeds it to McCracken at right wing. Oswego in a man-to-man now to Watrick at left wing, looking inside for Winter. Really working hard down there. Now O'Brien all the way into the lane. Layup no good. Winter with the rebound. Put back good. Emily Winter working hard down there on the block. Vale against Watrick. Feeds it back to Shedrick. Now to Dennison with the ball. Out to Shedrick. Three-pointer on the way. Long, no good. McCracken chases it down. McCracken feeds it ahead to Watrick. Watrick at right wing. Now drives towards the baseline. Has it poked away by Vale, but she chases it back down. Now to McCracken to Carter to the corner to O'Brien. O'Brien looks in for a minute. Cross-court pass to Watrick. Ball fake into the lane. She goes. Euro step, no good on the layup. And rebound Oswego, but Watrick steals it right back. Now a little 10-footer by Watrick. Good hustle by Taylor. Watrick chase that down. 23-7. Indians building a little momentum here with 2 minutes left to go here in the first half.
Taylor Watrick just a ball of energy out there on the floor. Fun to watch.
Shedrick has it poked away by O'Brien. Now Caitlin O'Brien on the breakaway. Left-handed layup. Good. 23-7. 1:59 left to go here in the first half.
Should be 25-7.
It is 25-7 now. Now pass goes out of bounds by Oswego. 1:48 left to go here in the first half. 3 subs comes in for Oswego, and that will be Schenecker, Rodenball, and I'm not sure who the last one was. I think it was number 30. Phillips checks back in for Oswego. For the Lady St. Paul Indians, it's McCracken, Rice, who's just checked in, O'Brien, Coombs, and Winter. Winter wide open at the block, feeds it into Coombs, and a lot of traffic. Turnaround shot, good!
Katie Coombs, a big sky hook there.
And right back down comes Oswego, almost gets it stolen as Schenecker. Now it is stolen by O'Brien, knocked into the backcourt. She pokes, oh, you're kidding me. Is that going to be on?
Who's he going to call that on?
I have no idea. That's going to be on Brian.
Brian.
Boy, that was a loose ball.
Yep.
Nobody really had possession. And he calls a foul on O'Brien. 14 foul on the Lady Indians. Just a first on O'Brien. Schenecker with the basketball. Dead ball as she picks up her dribble. She tries to feed it back to Shedrick. Gets it back there, but now it's loose on the floor, and Rice is going to tie Shedrick up, but possession arrow stays with Oswego. Schenecker set to put the ball in play, feeds it into Shedrick in the backcourt. Shedrick picks up her dribble against Rice, tries to hit the backdoor cut. Coombs jumps in front of it, steals it. Rice lobs it to O'Brien on a breakaway, layup, good. 29-7. Indians starting to roll now. 55 seconds left to go here in second quarter. Took a little while to get them warmed up, but Indians playing well now, Mike.
Starting to get some rhythm now, and you can really tell a difference.
Shot on the way by Oswego, right up and through there by Schenecker. 29-9, 20-point lead for St. Paul. Off to O'Brien. O'Brien spin move. What a good spin move. And she puts it in and she's fouled. What a move. She drove in, spun back towards the inside, and a tough shot got it to go, and she's fouled.
She was excited about it, too.
It's a pretty good move, wasn't it, Dalton? It's a pretty good move, wasn't it? Dalton says it's a good move. Dalton's got it on camera if you're watching on the live stream. O'Brien settles in at the line. Shot short. Winner with the rebound. Put back. Oh, rolls over the rim. No good. Rebound Oswego this time. Long with the rebound. Now Shedrick with it. She picks up her dribble. Now Rice just wipes it right out of her hands. A left-handed layup. Good. 33-9. 15 seconds left to go here in the first half. Shedrick with the basketball. Now a bad pass by her. Gives it to Coombs. Winner with it. 3 seconds. Winner pulls up. 15-footer. Ooh, just off the rim. No good. And that's going to be halftime, folks. Stick around for St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show after this 2-minute timeout. Listen to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Dan Vin alongside Mike McCracken. Just underway here with our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime. 33-9. The Lady Indians, St. Paul Indians, up over Oswego, 33-9. And pretty good first half so far.
Yeah,
Mike.
pretty good first half. First quarter a little bit sluggish out of the gate. Pick that up though, start getting some chemistry, get things rolling, especially in the second quarter where they really came alive and were able to make some shots fall. Taylor Watrick warming up from outside. Sydney Rice having a good first half, causing a lot of trouble out front for Oswego, getting a lot of steals, causing some turnovers, and then they were able to capitalize on those and make some points. So good first half overall by St. Paul. Probably comparing to last night, maybe not quite as good, but still plenty good to come in here at halftime with a 33-9 lead. So not a lot to complain about for St. Paul.
And that last timeout was brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. Not too many timeouts called that.
Not a lot of timeouts either. You're right.
Pretty fast-moving ball game so far as the Lady Indians lead 33-9 here at halftime. We're about halfway through halftime as both boys teams out on the court warming up here at halftime. Indian boys coming off a tough loss against Southern Coffey County. Southern Coffey County, pretty good team, but the Indians yet to play clear up to their potential, just struggling shooting from the field. really ever since about the midseason break, Mike. Started off the year shooting pretty well, coming right out of that long run into the football playoff, coming out shooting well. But since about midseason, they've really went cold. And, that's got to do something to do with confidence. So hopefully they can start building their confidence back going down the stretch here. Just 3 regular season games left until we roll right into Sub-State.
Yeah, on the other hand, you talk about confidence. The St. Paul Lady Indians are full of it right now. The games they've had, the last couple of games coming off a big week last week, and they're not lacking on any confidence on the part of the ladies tonight. And this continues here as we go into the second half. We'll look for them to continue what they're doing. That man defense is just causing all kinds of trouble for Oswego. If they can keep the hot hand in the shooting, they should be all right. Come out of here with a nice victory tonight. We'll see how it goes in the second half.
Mike will have stats in the first half coming out of this next St. Paul Supermarket timeout. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.
Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here at halftime. St. Paul Lady Indians against the Oswego Lady Indians. St. Paul here with a 33-9 comfortable lead at halftime. Looking over first half stats for St. Paul, they were led by Taylor Watrick, her second night in a row going into halftime in double digits on points with 10 leading all scorers. Sydney Rice had 7 points for St. Paul. Caitlin O'Brien and Emily Winter both with 4, and Katie Coombs, actually Caitlin and Emily both had 6. Katie Coombs had 4. That's the scoring for the Lady Indians. Overall, from 2-point range, Lady Indians not quite as hot as they were last night, shooting only 45%. Not anything to complain about at 45. They'll look for them to pick that up a little bit in the second half. They were 12 of 21. Only 2 of 10 from outside. That's really where they were, their strong suit last night. They were really on from 3-point range. Not so much tonight. Only hitting 2 of 10 for 20%. 3 out of 5 from the free throw line, 60%. Doing a pretty good job when they got a chance to shoot a free throw, but not very many really fouls or free throws opportunity for the St. Paul Indians tonight in the first half. For Oswego, only 2 Oswego Indians were able to score tonight so far in the first half. Shaker had 5, and Allie Vale had 4 points for the Lady Indians. from Oswego. Their big downfall was turnovers, caused mostly by Sydney Rice and her aggressive defense. Oswego Lady Indians had 21 turnovers in the first half alone, compared to only 3 on the part of St. Paul. So it's a game of turnovers and defense. It's really been the strong suit, and the ability of St. Paul to capitalize on those turnovers and really build up a nice lead here at the into the first half. And we'll see what happens here in the second half. Got about a minute and 15 seconds left to go. We'll be back. I'll get Dan back in here. We'll be back on with the second half in about 30 seconds. After this 30-second timeout, you're listening to St. Paul Indian basketball on Hot 105.
Well, welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse, and thanks for listening to our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Lady St. Paul Indians lead 33-9 here at halftime. Styles Fitness More tip-off to the second half, and it will be St. Paul's basketball to start this second half, as they are going to start with Rice, Watrick, O'Brien, McCracken, and Winter in the game for the St. Paul Lady Indians. McCracken right wing with the basketball up top to O'Brien. Rice with it, drives in, kicks it out to McCracken. Three-point shot on the way, good. There, the birthday girl got her one from the right baseline as Sydney McCracken cans at 3. So good start to the second half for St. Paul. Oswego with the basketball. Boy, that was a travel, no call. As Ramsey with it for Oswego. Tries to feed it back to Vale. Gets it to her. Shot on the way. In and out. No good. Rebound Oswego. Now tapped out of there. And it's going to be tapped into the backcourt. But Vale chases it down for the Oswego Indians. Right wing off to Ramsey. Ramsey at the elbow with the basketball. On the backdoor cut. Now Rice recuperates. Now the ball's loose. Rice comes out there with it. Ball's loose on the floor, knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with St. Paul. Good hustle by Schinker and Rice. Both chasing that ball hard. Rice feeds it into the backcourt to Watrick. Now back to Rice. O'Brien, top of the key. Over to McCracken, right wing. Now back up top to Watrick. Now to Rice. She left open. Lob inside. Tapped away. Good defense that time by Long for Oswego, and a steal on the inlet pass. Schinker, shot on the way. No good. Tapped out of bounds by O'Brien. It'll stay with Oswego. 6:33 left to go here in the third quarter. 36-9. St. Paul leads.
Difference I already see from Oswego here in the second half. A lot more aggressive, taking a lot more shots than what they did in the first half.
Good lob inside, or good pass inside the Vale, and that's going to be McCracken with a foul on Ramsey. Oswego basketball, first team foul in the second half. First on McCracken. Getting close to a 5 count, finally gets it into Vale, clear up over the top, guarded by Watrick. Lobs it back to Schinneker, shot on the way, no good, short, rebound Watrick. Watrick dribbles out of there with it. Pushes the ball up the floor, kicks it out to O'Brien. Back out to McCracken, another three-pointer by her. Good rotation off the rim just slightly. Rebounds on loose on the floor, tied up, jump ball. Possession arrow goes towards Oswego. Oswego basketball, St. Paul leads 36-9, 6:12 left to go here in the third. Vale with the basketball for Oswego. Boy, she bumps into Watrick hard. And that's going to be a foul on O'Brien. Second team foul. Second on O'Brien as she bumped Vale. Oswego's basketball on the sideline. Schinneker set to put the ball in play for Oswego. feed into Long. Long lobs it into Ramsey. Shot no good. Rice with the rebound on the weak side. She pushes the ball hard up the left side. All the way in. Jump stop shot on the way. Good. About an 8-footer by Rice. She gets the roll. Gives St. Paul a 38-9 lead. Schoenecker with the ball. Turnaround shot by her, short, no good. Winter with the rebound, foul on Long. First team foul of the second half on Oswego. Second on Long, that's on number 22.
No, it was on Long. It was on Long.
Oh, it was on
14,
Long,
yeah.
First on her. Now a little four-court pressure by Vale. Now double team coming. Now they kind of back off, extending the pressure, though. Schoenecker out on Rice. Now O'Brien feed into Winter. She's double-teamed. Shot no good. No weak side rebound. Vale comes out of there with it. Right wing. Cross-court pass to Phillips. She gets it stolen by Rice. Rice lobs it ahead to O'Brien, just about out of bounds. O'Brien recuperates, gets it to Watrick. It's going to be a foul on Vale against Watrick as she's trailing down the floor.
Second foul on Vale.
Second team foul on Oswego. Coombs and Carter check back into the game for Winter and Rice. So now it's Watrick, Coombs, McCracken, Carter, and O'Brien in the game for the Lady Indians. St. Paul Lady Indians. McCracken at the baseline with the ball. A lob inside O'Brien's going to be a foul on Long. Pushed her from behind. So now we got a few fouls getting called as number 5, Allie Vale checks in, as well as Reynolds, a 5'9" freshman. Oswego just have 2 seniors on the team, a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, really. Actually, yeah, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors on the roster. Watrick off to Carter, 3-pointer by her at the baseline. Ooh, looked good, just off the rim, no good. Rebound Oswego. Vale streaks down the floor with the basketball. Vale, a 5'4" junior, does a majority of the ball handling for Oswego Indians. Back to Schoenecker. Schoenecker in the corner to Long. Long up top to Vale, 3-pointer by her, off the back iron, no good. Rebound. Number 11, Reynolds, who's just in the game. Bounce pass inside the Long, layup good. Better ball movement by Oswego that time. Got them a bucket, 38-11. Now O'Brien hard in, shot up, no good, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
It's going to be on Long. That'll be her third.
Oswego, or O'Brien being aggressive, driving to the basket.
She could see the lane there, and she could see Long wasn't going to be able to get in front of her in time to get set. Took advantage of it.
O'Brien's first free throw is good. As subs come back in for Oswego, Ramsey checks back into the game. Long has to come out, picking up her third foul here with 4:02 left to go in the third. Second shot rattles in for O'Brien. Vale with the basketball for Oswego, 40-11. Lady St. Paul Indians up by 29. Allie Vale with the basketball, and almost a steal by McCracken. She tries to one-hand it, loses it out of bounds, so it'll stay with Oswego. Dennison with the basketball, knocked out of bounds by the Lady Indians by McCracken, so stay with Oswego on the sideline. Dennison with the ball on the sideline. Lob into Ramsey, shot on the way, rebound O'Brien for St. Paul. 3:42 left to go here in the third, 40-11. Good pass inside to Coombs, layup good. O'Brien really threaded the needle into the lane in traffic, right to Coombs on a good bounce pass. Ramsey with the basketball, cross-court pass over to Dennison, now steal by Watrick. Watrick pushing it, gives it to O'Brien, ball fake, jump stop, layup good.
Feeling O'Brien got a lot of body control when she's got the ball into the basket like that.
Vale back down with it as Foley, Rice, and Winter all come to the scores table for the Lady Indians. Dennison with the basketball. Now Carter comes out of there with it. Watrick feeds it ahead to McCracken, sets her feet. 3-point shot by McCracken, short. Coombs with the rebound, put back good. Coombs with a nice offensive board, gets it to go, 46-11. All of a sudden, the Indians find themselves up by 35. St. Paul Indians shot by Vale, in and out. Ooh, off the rim again, no good. Coombs with the rebound. Now she gets it stolen out there by Vale. Back to Vale, goes out of bounds, off of hers. As Schenecker and Phillips check back in for Oswego. So right now for the Indians, it's going to be Rice, Foley, Winter, Coombs, and Carter in the game for the Lady St. Paul Indians. Winter at right wing with the basketball, looks in at Coombs. Now Coombs comes out. She gets it as they switch spots, feed into Winter. Ooh, that's going to be a charge.
She knew it too, I think.
Emily Winter dropped her shoulder, tried to make some room on her own. So her second foul, both been on charges. As she was double teamed, put her shoulder down, did the old football move, make herself a little room. It's pretty obvious. She come out there smiling like she knew she'd done it. So Schenecker with it, feeds it back out to Dennison. Dennison to Phillips, lob inside, tipped out of there by Winter, controlled by Oswego. Phillips with the shot, blocked by Winter. Winter back down on a fast break, all the way down, layup, no good, long, and Foley tipped it out, and then Rice tipped it to Oswego. Right wing three-point shot, good by Phillips. Left wing three-point shot. Feed over the top of Vale into Rice. Rice, a little full court pressure. 46-14, 32-point lead for the Lady Indians, St. Paul Indians. Foley with the basketball up top to Carter. Now over to Winter at left wing. Coombs, three-point shot, top of the key. Short, no good. Loose, and it's going to be a foul either on Carter or Coombs. It's going to be on Coombs as she tried to chase down her own rebound.
Second foul on Katie.
14 foul on the Lady Indians. Vale with the basketball for Oswego. Lady St. Paul Indians lead 46-14. Schenecker with it. Hands it off to Dennison. Now shot on the way by Vale. Short. Coombs comes out there with it. She feeds it. Rice faked out Coombs, and she fed it over the top and out of bounds, so it's going to go right back to Oswego. So Vale, with a little token pressure, causes the turnover. Feed in, now lob inside to Schenecker, gets Carter, feeds it back out to Phillips. Ball's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow goes towards St. Paul.
Sydney Rice really watching that ball's down low. She's going to grab onto it.
Rice had to put the ball in play for St. Paul. Foley back to Rice. 38 seconds left in the third quarter. 46-14. St. Paul leads. Foley off to Carter. Up top to Winter. Right wing to Foley. Up top to Rice. 23 seconds left to go in the third. Carter top the key with it. Feeds it to right wing to Foley. Foley reverses it to Rice. Lob into Coombs on the block, and shot's no good, but she had somebody draped all over her shoulder. Well, it wasn't shooting. They called that on the floor.
I guess so. That's going to be on Schenker, her second.
11.8 seconds left to go here in the third. St. Paul leads 46-14. St. Paul's basketball under their own rim. Rice to Coombs, shot with about 11 seconds, partially blocked. And that's going to be Oswego's basketball as Rice touched that as it was going out of bounds. Eight seconds left, 46-14, 32-point lead for the Indians. Schenecker, three-point shot from the timeline, short, no good. So at the end of three, 46-14, St. Paul leads. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. Start of the fourth quarter. St. Paul leads 46-14. Phillips with a shot, no good. Oswego started with possession of the ball. It's out on the Indians, out on St. Paul, so it'll stay with Oswego. So the Indians with a 30-plus point lead. Continuous clock here in the fourth quarter. Schenecker with the basketball. Boy, it had to be close. Foley now with the steal. Good job by Foley. Dribbles out of there, feeds it back to McCracken. McCracken to Watrick, over to Carter. Carter up to the top of the key, over to Foley. Foley to Watrick, to O'Brien. McCracken over to Watrick. Watrick dribbles in, kicks it out to Carter, now to Foley. Bounce pass inside to O'Brien. Turnaround shot left block. Ooh, no good, but she's fouled.
Kind of a late whistle there. Got her on the shot. It's on Phillips. That'll be her first foul.
So O'Brien goes to the line to shoot two. So the Indians with three seniors, Winter, O'Brien, and Rice. So pretty young core coming back for the Lady Indians. O'Brien makes her first. I don't know if you keep up on this, Mike, but I'd heard the Lady Indians is ranked as much as fourth in the state.
Yeah, I'd seen them up there, the top 5 all season.
O'Brien's second shot right up and through there. 48-14, 34-point lead for St. Paul. St. Paul definitely the favorite. Good pass on the back door. That's going to be a foul on O'Brien. Boy, I don't know about that foul.
I don't either.
That's going to send Phillips to the line to shoot two.
It's going to be her third, though, on O'Brien.
St. Paul going to be the favorite to come out of their sub-state. Second seed in sub-state, I believe, was Southern Coffey County, and St. Paul really put it on them last night. That really doesn't mean anything. Going in sub-state, you're going to have to retain your focus. But the Indians, boys and girls, have the luxury of playing at home. That's going to be nice for us, Mike.
Yeah, that'll be nice for us and for the team.
And for the fans.
And for the fans.
Thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. If you want to watch on the live stream, if you can't, somewhere where you can't listen to us on the radio, or you want to watch it just on the live stream, go ahead, Mike. What is it? I always get it wrong.
It's hot1055.net.
Hot1055.
That'll take you to the radio website, the KKOY Hot 105 website, and there's a link there, St. Paul Indian banner. Take you right to the YouTube page.
Long three-pointer by Foley, no good. O'Brien chases down the rebound. O'Brien towards the baseline. Out to McCracken. Bounce pass into O'Brien. Spin move. Turnaround shot. No. Off the rim. No good. Tipped around. Controlled by Oswego. Schenecker with the basketball. 4:48 left to go. Watrick pestering her. Going to pick up a foul. Sixth team foul on the Lady Indians. Second on Watrick. Feed into Phillips. Now back to Vale. Vale against Watrick. Kicks it off to Schenecker. Cross-court pass over to Ramsey. Now shot by Vale. Off the rim. No good. Tapped out of bounds by McCracken, so it'll stay with Oswego.
Vale not afraid to shoot the ball from outside, especially if she gets a chance.
Winter, Coombs, and Rice check in for the Lady St. Paul Indians as Watrick, McCracken, and Foley come out.
Bill O'Brien.
Caitlin O'Brien. Ireland Foley started to come out. Coach Tuck hollered and said, no, Caitlin O'Brien. Caitlin O'Brien ducked her head like she didn't want to come out very bad. And that's always a good sign when you want somebody to stay on the court all the time. The senior didn't want to come out. But it's time to get some of these young freshmen some playing time. So three-pointer by Phillips, no good. Coombs with the rebound. Rice comes down the court with it. All the way in, layup, good. Good tough shot by Sydney Rice. 50-16. 34-point lead for the Lady Indians. Vale with the basketball. Vale looking for, it's a 5-second call. Good defense by Rice. Vale had nowhere to go with it. So Rice causes that turnover, and it goes right back to St. Paul. Under 3 minutes left to go in the game. 50-16. St. Paul leads. Emily Winter with the basketball, dribbles to her left towards the elbow, kicks it out to Coombs. Coombs drives the baseline. She tries to create a little space. Now she picks up her dribble and in trouble, and that's going to be a 5-second call on her. Nope, never mind. Got it out to Winter. Turnaround shot, no good. Winter gets her own rebound, put back no good, but she's fouled. So she'll go to the line to shoot 2. .2:18 left to go in the ball game. St. Paul leads 50-16. As Oswego subs, 5 subs come to the scorer's table for Oswego. Winter misses her first. As Winter settles in for her second shot. On its way and good. 51-16 with under 2 minutes left to go in the game. Stick around for our KW Trucking post-game show. And Mike and I will have to figure out who the derail commodity player of the game is going to be, Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. A couple good candidates, I think, tonight.
Shedrick with the basketball, feeds it back to Allie Vale. Shot on the way off, no good. Carter with the rebound. She pushed the ball up the floor hard. All the way in, little 7-footer, no good. Winter with the rebound, and she's going to be fouled. So Winter will go back to the line to shoot 2 more. Clock running here with 1:12 left to go in the continuous running clock with more than a 30-point lead in the fourth quarter. So this fourth quarter has went fast. That's one way to shorten a game.
It is.
For your subs during the week.
This might be the shortest game we've set through, I think, this year. It went fast.
Last night, continuous clock. Lady Indians playing well. Back-to-back games, so back-to-back nights with a continuous clock in the fourth quarter. Shedrick with the basketball, feeds it back up top to Arnold. Arnold picks up her dribble, now still by Winter, but there's going to be a foul called. And it will stay with Oswego's 7th team foul, so that's going to put somebody on the line and shoot to 1-1.
They're going to have to
That's
hurry.
going to send Reynolds to the line to shoot to 1-1, the 5'9" freshman. And they'll stop the clock here with a couple seconds left. Not to interrupt the free throw. Reynolds' free throw, no good. Never mind, didn't have to. She missed it. And that's going to be the end of the ball game, folks. St. Paul Lady Indians win 53-16 over the Oswego Indians. We'll be back with our KW Trucking postgame show after this 2-minute timeout. You listen to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.
My goodness.
Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse and our KW Trucking postgame show. The Lady Indians come out with a nice victory here against Oswego here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, pretty good performance by the Lady Indians, keeping that momentum going as they roll through this week and head into the end of the season here. So not a bad job overall. Second half, had some time to get some substitutions, get some quality playing time for the younger players. Foley and Carter both spent a lot of time. Carter actually in the game early on and had a lot of playing time tonight. Foley played most of the second half, so it's good to see those younger players getting an opportunity when you have a lead to get out there and play some varsity basketball, because that can only pay off in the long run and get some of those game jitters out of them should they be needed later on in the season, and that way they're more likely to get out there and do what they need to do, and this is a good opportunity for them to learn a lot of the plays and where they're supposed to be and follow along with the faster pace of the varsity basketball. So that's nice. One of the big advantages of having to be able to play in a game like this, and just overall nice victory tonight by the Lady Indians.
The Lady Indians, St. Paul Indians come out with a 53-16 victory over Oswego, so back-to-back good games put together by the Lady St. Paul Indians. As we are in the midst of our KW Trucking post-game show, Mike, let's go ahead. And what do you got for a D-Row Commodity Player of the Game?
Well, you know what? I think key to St. Paul's victory is a lot of the turnovers end up causing 28 turnovers on the part of Oswego, and a lot of that due to the defensive hustle and play by Sydney Rice. I think based on that, and I got her point totals here in a minute, but Sydney Rice is going to get my vote, I think, for player of the game because of that hustle and aggressive defense that she played.
Rice with 11 points on the game on the night, and a lot of those caused off of her hustle on the floor. So we'll give Sydney Rice a well-deserved D-Rail Commodity Player of the Game, and Mike will have the rest of our KW Trucking post-game show after this next 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Basketball on Hot 105. Mike will have the rest of our... Whew. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. I'm not sure what I was trying to say going into that break, but whatever it was, it didn't make sense.
I wish we had a camera. You could see me just sit here grinning at you because it was fun to watch.
I got caught getting distracted by this good music these kids listen to nowadays. Mike, it's got in my head. It's hard to concentrate with the thumping going on.
That's right. It's hard not to get a little bit groovy up here.
About 8 minutes. Mike, what do you got for final game stats?
Let's talk about the stats. 53-16, big victory for the Lady St. Paul Indians tonight, based largely on the defensive play and hustle of Sydney Rice with our D-Rail Commodity Player of the Game. As far as individual stats, Taylor Watrick, Caitlin O'Brien actually led St. Paul with 12 points, Taylor Watrick with 10. Emily Winter had 9 for St. Paul, Katie Coombs with 8. Sydney McCracken had 3 points with the 1 3-pointer tonight for St. Paul. Overall, St. Paul 17 of 32 from 2-point range, 41%, 3 of 16. A big difference from what they did last night where they were really hot from outside. Tonight, not the case. 3 of 16, only shot 18% from 3-point land. 10 of 13 from the free throw line. Not a lot of free throws, but when they had a chance, got a pretty good opportunity to get some points on the board. Shot 76% from the free throw line. Only committed 6 turnovers. So good night overall for St. Paul Lady Indians tonight on the basketball court.
Yeah, I had a total of 24 rebounds on the night, so good job there. 15 steals and shooting 42% from the field, Mike. That's not a bad stat.
No, that's not bad at all.
So the Indians not as hot as they was in the first half last night, but a nice game put together by St. Paul and a nice victory here at home at Billy Fager Fieldhouse.
To be honest with you, it'll be hard to keep up the pace they had last night. So if they can get anywhere near that, they'll be in good shape.
Excuse me. As there's about 6 minutes, we're going to roll right out of our KW Trucking postgame show and right into our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show. When we come back from this next break, we're going to take a 3-minute timeout. We'll be back after this 3-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse as we roll right into our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show as both boys teams finish up their warm-ups here before the pregame show. Mike, what do you look out of the Indian boys here tonight? St. Paul Indian boys, that is.
Well, I can tell you, I look for them to try, and the biggest thing they need to do is figure out a way to make the ball go through the basket. That's been their biggest struggle, just cold as ice. Shoot from outside, shoot from inside, just all over the floor, not able to make anything fall. And I think that'll go a long ways if they can get a little bit ahead of themselves, start making some baskets. That'll help their confidence, which will really make everything else work a lot better. Not able to follow their shots, or I guess not able to. They're just not following their shots, getting any offensive rebounds, getting a second or third attempt. Just it's one and done back down the floor. So if they can clean that up, I think they'll go a long ways to doing a lot better than what they've had been and fix some of the struggles that they've been having.
Thank all our sponsors, our title sponsors, Farmers Bank. Go and visit Josh and Joe for all your banking needs. And we are in our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show, and the boys need to shake that loss off last night. Pretty good Southern Coffey County team. Indians hung with them, start losing a little bit of ground in that midway through that third quarter into the fourth quarter, kind of a back and forth game. Indians led early in that game, but once they relinquished the lead, they never was able to climb back in. It got back within 5 once or twice, but about midway through that third quarter, lost a little ground, got it back to 10, and it kind of stayed there the rest of the ball game. So Southern Coffey County, pretty good ball club, so we'll see if the Indian boys can shake that off as they roll right into tonight's game for the Tom Tom Battle of the Indians with Oswego. And then Friday night, Yates Center comes to town, and then next Thursday, the last game of the regular season, will be Colony Crest coming to town and roll right into Sub-State.
Yeah, a lot of this game's going to be mental, too, for the Indians if they can get that confidence back. You know, when you get down and you're not able to make your shots, it really it weighs on your mind, and that just follows you all over the floor.
Stay tuned next week, as we should know more next week on how the Sub-State seeding. I'm not sure if that comes out after Friday or if that waits until like after Tuesday of the next week. That's going to have to come out a little bit in advance, give the AD time or the Acacia time to draw up the brackets. So we'll stay tuned, and if you want to look, get track on Acacia's website. You can go in there and have all the brackets and all the sub-state assignments if you go down through there, 1A, 2, clear through up to 6A.
Yeah, I think they try to do their best on seeding them ahead of time. It's just too many things can change for it to be locked in.
For Oswego, that's the wrong
roster. That's going to make it interesting, isn't it?
That's wrong. That's the girls, Mr. Turley. Jace Wilson. 5'9" sophomore Jace Wilson. See, everybody has a bad day.
You know what? I'd feel a lot better after that. That helps me feel a lot better.
Brendan Doherty, the senior, gets to start for the Indian boys. Jace Wilson, just a 5'9" sophomore. Senior number 4, Jacob Terrell, a 6-foot senior for Oswego Indians. For the Indian boys, Caleb Pekka, workhorse underneath. This senior gets to start for the Indian boys. Number 21, Isaac Elliott, the 6'1" freshman, gets to start for Oswego. And for the Indians, Braven Bourne, number 22, gets a start. Number 32, Damian Simmons, gets the start for the Indians. For Oswego, number 30, oops, he had 40. That's not who come out on the floor. They got 34. Yeah. Jacob Walker comes out on the floor, 6-foot senior. I was going to say there's an Elliott come on the court, so I was looking around for Big Ed Bourne.
Yep,
that's
Big
a
Ed's
grandson.
Down the bench from us.
Sitting down the road from us. Give old Big Ed and Jolene a shout out as we get set for our Styles Fitness More tip-off to this ball game. St. Paul Indian boys look to rebound after a tough loss last night. Try to gain a little momentum and gain a little confidence. A lot of times, Mike, that shooting is just pure and simple confidence. That's all there is to it. As Doherty goes out to set the tip off against Isaac Elliott, the young freshman. And here we go with our Styles Fitness More tip-off to this ball game as Doherty tries to tip it to Bourne, but it's controlled by Oswego. Wilson with the basketball, feeds it off the left wing to Walker. Walker back to Terrell, all the way to the rim, layup good. Oswego gets off to a 2-0 lead over St. Paul. Pekka cross-court pass to Bourne. Bounce pass into Doherty, a layup good, and he's fouled by Elliott. Elliott's going to have his work cut out for him. Brendan wisely gets in on the post with a height advantage, works against that young freshman, gets the bucket and the foul.
Yeah, Doherty's going to be a load for Elliott.
Free throw on its way and good by Doherty. Full court press now by the Indians. Actually, just a little bit of, there is a little token full court press and a turnover by Oswego. Gives it right back to St. Paul. Pekka feeds it into Doherty, 3-2. St. Paul leads. It's just underway here in the first quarter. Grant Hutcherson gets a start for the Indians. Bourne, three-point shot from the baseline, good. Braven Bourne got off to a good start last night, couple threes early, and that was about it. Ball knocked loose, but Simmons chases it down for Oswego, feeds it back to Elliott. Elliott in a little bit of trouble, gets it back to Walker, now lob
Walker
inside.
all by himself underneath the basket. Nobody even close.
6-4, 2-point lead for St. Paul. Bourne with the basketball, right wing. Feed up top to Doherty. Doherty to Pekka. Pekka over to Bourne at the baseline, drives in towards the baseline. He loops it over to Doherty. Doherty drives inside, off the backboard, good. St. Paul with the press, and that's going to be a travel against Simmons. Pekka feeds it in to Doherty. Back to Pekka. Cross-court pass over to Bourne. Bourne ball fake, drives in, a little 15-foot floater on the way, no good. Pekka with the rebound, put back good. 10-4, Indians up by 6. Feed ahead to Walker, or Simmons. Simmons dishes it to Elliott, blocked by Pekka. Now a shot put up by Terrell, blocked by Doherty, but he's fouled.
Pekka playing big underneath there at the big block.
As that's going to send Terrell to the line to shoot two, the 6-foot senior. St. Paul leads 10-4. Terrell's first shot long, no good. As he settles in for his second. So it's Albertini, Pekka, Doherty, Hutcherson, and Bourne in the game for St. Paul. No rim. So that will go to St. Paul on the turnover by Oswego. Pekka with the basketball, crosses the timeline. 3-2 zone applied by Oswego. Over to Doherty. Cross-court pass to Bourne. Bourne feeds it to Pekka at left wing. Cross-court pass back to Doherty. Ball fake into the lane he goes. Layup good.
Brendan Doherty shaping up for a big night. Keeps driving like that.
I tell you what, Indians, St. Paul's in this press. That's Coach Wartrick got to make them get in a defense and get 3 rebounds each before they ever get that press.
I would too. I agree with that.
Oswego with the basketball because the Indians really got out rebounded terrible bad against against Southern Coffey County. Steele, feed ahead from Doherty to Bourne off his fingertips. Pekka chases it down. Now Bourne, three-pointer from the baseline, off the rim twice, no good. Just about got it to go. Rebound Oswego. Simmons with the basketball, 12-4, 8-point lead for St. Paul. Simmons all the way to the rim, shots no good. Doherty comes out of there with it. Bounce pass over to Pekka, layup good, and he's fouled. And that's going to send Pekka to the line to shoot one. Timeout Oswego. We'll go ahead and stay here during this timeout. This timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. St. Paul leads 14-4. I don't want to pick on the boys, Mike. They lead 14-4, but Simmons drove right past 2 Indian boys in for a layup. If he had just made it.
Yep.
And that's kind of been the story of the Indians' life as far as Monday night, last night's game against Southern Coffey County. And they're playing well and plenty athletic and getting a lot of steals here on this press against Oswego, and they lead 14-4 and shooting the ball better tonight. So Pecca will go to the line, try to complete the three-point play.
Yeah, I'm like you, Dan. I'd like to see him get back here and set up some defense, play some defense.
Pecca settles in at the line to shoot the free throw. 4:59 left to go here in the first. Pecca's free throw short. Doherty with the rebound. Feeds it to Hutcherson. Layup no good. Rebound Oswego. Simmons comes out of there with it. He feeds it ahead to Terrell. Terrell guarded by Doherty up above the timeline. Gets right past Doherty into the lane. Knocked out of bounds, but it's off of Oswego. St. Paul basketball, 4:41 left to go here in the first, 14-4. St. Paul leads.
Turnover bugs really got Oswego early on.
Doherty with the basketball. Drives the baseline, tries to feed it back to Pecca, but it's knocked out of bounds. Good play by Elliott. Knock it out of bounds, so it'll stay with St. Paul. Doherty set to put the ball in play for the Indians. Feeds it into Hutcherson. Now to Bourne. Anthony Albertini holds the ball back to Bourne. Bourne thought about the three, passed it up. Indians being very patient here. Doherty with the basketball at right wing. He drives into the lane, layup good as Doherty goes right past everybody right in the lane. Now Doherty, for Indians on the press, that's going to be a foul on Caleb Pecca against Jace Wilson. Second team foul on the Indians, first on Pecca. Oswego basketball on the sideline. Terrell set to put the ball in play, gets it into Wilson. Wilson against Bourne, ball tipped up in the air, now off Terrell's hands. He recovers, drives into the lane, shot up and good. (16-6), St. Paul up by 10. Anthony Albertini, good feed into him on the block, and it's good from the right block as Dent, Lemons, and Adam Albertini comes to the scorer's table. And right back down comes Simmons all the way into the lane. Layup no good. Drove past four Indians. Feed ahead to Caleb Pecca. Pecca with a behind the back dribble. Good move by him all the way down, coast to coast. As Indians continue to press, they lead by 14. Now Hutcherson comes out there with it. It's going to be a foul on Wilson. Timeout Oswego, and we're going to be back after this 30-second timeout with St. Paul basketball on High 105. Welcome back. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul's Supermarket. St. Paul leads 20-6. 3:07 left to go here in the first. St. Paul basketball. Pecca set to put the ball in play to Bourne. Right now it's Pecca, Bourne, Adam Albertini, Caleb Lemons, and Easton Dent in the game for the Indians. For the St. Paul Indians, Lemons bounce pass over to Adam Albertini at right wing. Back up top of the key to Bourne. Bourne out to Lemons. Lemons right wing, wide open three-pointer off the front of the rim. No good. Pecca with a rebound. No good on the putback. And it's going to be out on Oswego, so it'll stay with St. Paul. Adam Albertini set to put the ball in play for the Indians. Lob into Pecca in the backcourt. Feed to Bourne. Three-point shot right baseline. No good. Lemons with the rebound on the weak side. Feed back to Adam Albertini. Feed back to Lemons. Lemons to Bourne at the baseline on the left side. Back to Lemons. Swings it to Albertini. Albertini holds the ball, bounce pass into Dent, blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Indians. Simmons with the block as Walker and Harati check in for Oswego. Dent set to put the ball in play under the St. Paul's basket. They lead 20-6. Dent in the backcourt to Lemons. Over to Pekka. Feed into Bourne on the block. Layup good. Good job. Good ball movement by the Indians. Good feed. And that's going to be a foul on Lemons against Harati. Third team foul on the Indians. St. Paul first on Lemons. As Walker, steal by Bourne on the inbounds, and layup is good, and he's fouled.
We counted that basket.
Harati on the foul. Bourne goes to the line to try to complete the three-point play. St. Paul leads 24-6. As Elliott checks back into the game, as well as Simmons for Oswego. 14 foul on Oswego, first on Harati. Bourne's free throw on its way and right through there.
Bourne shooting pretty good so far tonight.
Oswego with the basketball, knocked her off the fingertips of Harati. Shot on the way, no good. Harati gets his own rebound, put back good. 1:36 left to go in the first. Pekka three-point shot, left baseline, no good. Tipped around and controlled by Oswego. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to go back to St. Paul. How'd you pronounce that name, Mike?
Which one?
Number 25.
25, I'd say Nimiskern.
Nimiskern.
Let's say it fast.
Okay. Nimiskern is in the game for Oswego. Adam Albertini put the ball in play for the Indians. Feeds it in to Doherty, to Lemons. Now Haney in the game for the Indians. Adam Albertini three-pointer. And that's going to be a foul on Haney. Fourth team foul. First on Haney. St. Paul leads 25-8. 1:23 left to go in the first. Indians back into a 2-3 zone with a lot of length out front with Doherty and Haney both up top. A lot of arms to get the ball around.
That is a lot
there.
of arms.
Look at Haney's wingspan. Drive inside, pass to Elliott. Elliott Dent all over him. No good on the shot. Rebound tapped out to Lemons. Lemons to Haney. Haney drives the baseline. No, can't get it to go. Taps it around, gets his own rebound. Now gets it stripped away by Walker for Oswego. Walker walks the ball up the floor. Feeds it back to Harati. Back to Walker, back to Harati. He drives the baseline. Shot partially blocked by Dent. Lemons comes out of there with it. Lemons three-point shot left wing off the iron, no good. Adam Albertini the rebound, feed inside to Haney. Good no-look feed from Albertini into Haney. 27-8. 20 seconds left to go here in the first. Simmons with the basketball, shot on the way hard, no good. Adam Albertini comes out there with it with 9.9 seconds left. St. Paul basketball.
Foul on Simmons, that's his second.
27-8. Lemons with the basketball. 7 seconds, 6 seconds off to Doherty. 2 seconds left. Now Doherty shoots a three at the buzzer. No good. And at the end of the first quarter, 27-8, St. Paul leads after one. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout with St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, welcome back. 8 minutes on the clock to start the second quarter. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. Oswego starts with possession of the ball to start the second quarter. St. Paul leads 27-8. Now Terrell, double team, gets out of it, all the way in and layup good. (27-10), 17-point lead for St. Paul. Lemons with the basketball. Gets it to Albertini, cross-court pass over to Doherty. Now into Albertini, feeds it into Dent, and makes it from the baseline, but got lucky that got through all that traffic.
Right
One too many passes as Albertini was open for a little 5-footer. Shot by Elliott, no good. Lemons knocks it off of Terrell. St. Paul basketball. Lemons have to put the ball in play to Adam Albertini. Gets it off to Doherty. Cross to Lemons. Floater on the way, off the rim, no good. Dent fights for it, knocks it out of bounds. It's going to go back to Oswego as Grant Hutcherson checks back into the game for Easton Dent. Feed into Wilson. Wilson crosses over against Haney. Feeds it out to Walker. Walker gets it knocked out of his hands into Elliott's hands right in front of the rim. 6:47 left to go in the first half. 29-12. St. Paul leads. Lemons' shot from the baseline is good. Feed out of bounds. Pass intended for Elliott. Goes back to St. Paul. Lemons with the basketball for St. Paul. Off to Doherty. Doherty cross-court pass to Hutcherson, up to Lemons, over to Adam Albertini. Pass off of Oswego, so it'll stay with the Indians. Indians, luckily, Albertini's pass went off Oswego's hand. Tried to throw it clear through the zone defense as Pekka comes back into the game as well as Bourne. So right now it's Pekka, Bourne, Haney, Doherty, and Hutcherson in the game for the Indian boys. Doherty into the lane, kicks it out. Hutcherson, three-point shot by him, way long. Haney with the rebound. Bourne out to Doherty. Doherty into the lane in traffic, layup good. Good move by Brandon
Nice
Doherty.
move.
St. Paul leads 33-12. Right wing against this 2-3 zone. Wilson in for the shot, and it's good. 33-14. Haney, cross-court pass to Doherty. Doherty to Bourne. Bourne to Haney. Three-pointer by him. Good. From the right baseline. 36-14. St. Paul leads. 5:21 left to go in the second quarter. Shot up, no good. Haney comes down with it. Now gets it off to Bourne. Bourne pushes up the floor. Cross-court pass to Hutcherson. Now to Haney. Back to Hutcherson. Over to Doherty. Into the corner to Bourne. Three-point shot by Bourne. Good. Jace Wilson with the basketball. 5'9" sophomore for Oswego. Simmons off to the corner to Terrell. Bounce pass inside Elliott. Pulled out of his hands by Pekka. Pekka is going to be fouled. That's going to be the 16th foul on Oswego, as Nemiskern checks back into the game for Oswego. Next foul by Oswego put Indians in the bonus for the rest of the second quarter. 4:39 left to go here in the second. Bourne, three-point shot from the baseline. Way long. Rebound. Nemiskern. Right back down comes Terrell with the basketball. Terrell, bounce pass into Wilson, turnaround shot to baseline, no good. Doherty with the rebound. Yeah, it was Simmons with the shot, Mike. Doherty feeds it into Pekka. Layup good on the weak side. 41-14. 4:07 left to go in the second period. As Simmons walks the ball up the timeline. Layup good by Nemiskern.
Good news for St. Paul is they're able to make some baskets here in the first half. Bad news is they're still struggling to stop anybody from driving in the lane.
3-point shot by Doherty, no good. Rebound, Oswego. St. Paul a lot of times reminds you of the NBA team.
Yeah, they
right?
do.
They're not scared to take the open shot, but with all that length with Haney and Doherty out front, there's been like 4 different times the Oswego Indians drove right past everybody and all the way to the rim. And it's extraordinarily frustrating to have a team as athletic as what I think we are.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Not play any better defense than we do at times. And I'm not venting my frustration no more than I think Coach Wattrick would say the same thing.
No, I think Coach Wattrick would agree.
Indians lead 41-16, 3:18 left to go here in the second quarter. So Indians offensively having a pretty decent night here, 41 points.
Doing a lot better.
A lot of them scored off of turnovers and fast breaks and shooting the ball decently from the outside. We'll see what the percentage is here at halftime. Pekka inside, misses a layup, but he fights for his own rebound. Adam Albertini now drives into the lane, feeds on the weak side to Bourne. Shot up, no good. Rebound Oswego, and that's going to be a foul on St. Paul. So a couple good looks by the Indians there, just couldn't get it to go. So it goes back to Oswego, 41-16, 3:01.
Fouls on Caleb Pekka. That's number 2 on Caleb.
15 foul on St. Paul. 2-on-2 zone applied by the Indians. Pass inside to Elliott, knocked away by Pekka. Elliott gets shot off, fouled by Albertini. 2:50 left to go here in the second quarter, 41-16. As Elliott goes the line to shoot 2. Elliott's shot up on its way off the rim, no good. Elliott settles in at the line for his second. It's on its way and short, no good. Rebound, Oswego. Shot put back up by Nemiskern, and he's fouled by Pekka.
Pekka quick 2 fouls there. That's his third.
7th team foul on the St. Paul as Easton Dick comes to the scores table. Nemiskern's first free throw is no good. As Dent checks into the game for Pekka, who's just picked up his 3rd foul. 2:48 left to go in the first half, and that's going to be a violation on Nemiskern. 6'2" junior. Lemons with the basketball for St. Paul. Off to Bourne. Now to Anthony Albertini. Back to Bourne. Bourne bounce. Skip pass over to Lemons. Now Adam Albertini, 3-point shot. Well short. Bourne with the rebound. Put back good. 2:30 left to go in the second quarter. 43-16. St. Paul leads. Terrell with the basketball. Ball's loose on the floor. Oh, it's going to be a backcourt on Oswego, so it goes back to St. Paul. As Simmons and Walker check back into the game for Wilson and Terrell for Oswego. Right now it's Bourne, Adam Albertini, Caleb Lemons, Anthony Albertini, and Easton Dent in the game for the Indians, St. Paul Indians. Bourne, wide open 3-pointer, good. Bourne with a good look, drains the 3. As Simmons feeds it into Walker. Back to Simmons. Simmons 3-pointer of his own. High, no good. Anthony Albertini goes high for the rebound, but knocked out of his hands. Elliott comes down with it. He feeds it back to Walker. Walker back to Simmons at left wing. Guarded out there by Lemons. 3-point shot on the way, off the rim, no good. Fought for it. Nemiskern comes down with the rebound, put back, no good. This time, Bourne comes out there with it. Bourne slows it up. 1:26 left to go in the first. 46-16. Indians up by 30. Lemons with the basketball off to Dent. Dent's going to get called for the walk off the dribble. 1:17 left to go in the second. 46-16. St. Paul leads by 30. Simmons with the basketball up by the timeline. Three-pointer on the way. Off the rim, no good by Walker. Dent comes down with it. Adam Albertini ahead to Lemons. A layup good. Good run out by the Indians there. Walker comes down with it. Feeds it ahead to Simmons. Simmons to the corner to... And that's going to be a travel on Haradi. And that's going to bring Wilson back into the game for Oswego. Adam Albertini, Caleb Lemons, Anthony Albertini, Braven Bourne, and Easton Dent on the floor for the Indians with 46 seconds left to go in the second quarter. St. Paul leads 48-16. Adam Albertini, cross-court pass, almost stolen. Feed back to Lemons, and it's going to be fed into the backcourt. And chased down by Wilson, layup good. It's a good hustle by him. Bourne, 24 seconds, in to the lane, and he's going to be fouled, and it's going to send him to the line to shoot to 1-1.
Fouled by Simmons. That'd be third foul on Simmons.
So Bourne goes to the line, shoots front end of a 1-1, 17th foul on Oswego. So that is a third foul on Simmons, and that's going to bring Terrell back to score table for Oswego. First shot by Bourne is right up and through there. As Bourne settles in for his second. On its way and right through there.
St. Paul looking a lot better offensively tonight.
Walker with the basketball, 20 seconds left. He feeds it off to Wilson. Wilson above the timeline. Feeds back to Walker. To right wing. Off to Terrell. And a steal by Lemons. He loses it out of bounds. And it's going to go back to Oswego with 7 seconds left to go in the second quarter. St. Paul leads 50-18. Feed into the backcourt. Bad pass. Now Adam Albertini with the steal, and the layup is good. Wilson. Shot at the buzzer off the backboard, no good. Stick around for a St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back. St. Paul boys lead 52-18 here at halftime. Welcome to our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. So the Indians boys off to a good start offensively here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, good start offensively. A lot better game than what we've seen them play in a while, and that's really good news for them. That's going to boost their confidence, and they're able to, get some of these shots to fall that they've struggled with all season long, and that's, going to do nothing but good for them. On the other hand, needs to still clean up some things defensively. I think, stopping that drive, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to try and drive on them in the lane, and they're just going to have to come up with a way to stop that a lot of times. And coming down here with a 52-18 lead at halftime is really good news for the boys. They'll come out in the second half. Hopefully they can work on some of the fundamental things that they need to get cleaned up as they go into the next game, but a pretty comfortable lead here at halftime for St. Paul.
About halfway through this halftime, St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. As I said, St. Paul leads 52-18. When we come back from this next break, Mike will have all of the first half stats after this next timeout, brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. We'll be back after this next 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.
Well, welcome back to St. Paul, Billy Fager Fieldhouse here at St. Paul High School, where the St. Paul Indian boys have a comfortable 52-18 lead at halftime over the Oswego Indians. St. Paul played pretty well in the first half, probably biggest first half point-wise that they've had all season, led by Braven Bourne, who led all scorers with 18 points, all in the first half here by Braven. He's perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Brendan Doherty with 11. Brendan having a pretty good shooting night himself. He's 5 for 5 from two-point range. A little bit cold from outside. He's 0 for 2 from three-point land, but hasn't really shot the three like he normally does. Doesn't need to the way he's making those two-pointers, getting some good drives into the lane. He's also perfect from the free throw line, 1 for 1. Caleb Lemons has 4 points for St. Paul. Caleb Pecca with 8. Adam Albertini has 2. Easton Dent with 2. Kenny Haney with 5. And Anthony Albertini with 2 points for St. Paul in the first half. Overall, St. Paul 18 of 26, inside two-point range, 55%, 4 of 14 Still pretty cold outside, only shooting 28% outside the three-point line. However, free throws 80%, or 4 or 5 from the free throw line. So overall, shooting has improved quite a bit for St. Paul. If they can dial in those outside shots from three-point range, they're really going to have something going. Big deal for St. Paul, though, is going to be playing defense, especially against those drives by Oswego. They're not afraid to drive the lane. St. Paul going to have to come up for an answer. Only 3 turnovers by St. Paul Indians in the first half compared to 12 for Oswego. That's been another one of the issues that they've had to deal with. See if they can't clean that up here in the second half. Dan will be back in here with the second half call, the play-by-play, and we'll do that right after this next 1-minute timeout. You're listening to the St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show and St. Paul Indian basketball on Hot 105.
Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse, where St. Paul has a 52-18 lead here at halftime. Thanks for listening to our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show as we get you set for our Styles Fitness More tip-off to the second half. And it will be St. Paul's basketball to start the second half here in about 40 seconds. So look for the Indians to continually build on their offense and see if they can lock their defense down a little bit tighter here in the second half.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers when you've got a nice lead like this. You come into the second half and you start to back off a little bit. St. Paul can't afford to do that because they really need to work on that defense anyway. And anything that they let up, any of the pressure they let up is going to really cost them. Oswego not afraid. They've shown they can drive the lane and make a basket, so they're not going to be able to let them do that in the second half.
All 5 seniors on the floor for the St. Paul Indians: Pekka, Bourne, Albertini, Hutcherson, and Doherty. Oswego in a 3-2 zone. Doherty back to Pekka. Cross-court pass over to Hutcherson. Lob inside to Bourne. Back to Hutcherson. Cross-court pass over to Doherty. Doherty looks in at Albertini. Bounce pass into him. Left-handed shot short. Rebound. Oswego. Terrell. Good inlet pass. Good look at the basket for Albertini. Just ain't able to connect. Isaac in the lane with the basketball. Now Wilson with a shot high off the backboard, no good. That was Simmons with the shot. Now feed ahead to Bourne. Bourne back out to Pekka. Lob inside to Hutcherson. Way over the rim, no good. Simmons feeds it back ahead to Terrell. Terrell bounce pass inside to Elliott. Shot blocked by Albertini. Doherty with the basketball. Doherty inside. Good feed to Pekka, and he misses badly over the top. So each team starting out extraordinarily cold here in the second half. St. Paul's had 3 or 4 good looks at the basket, just can't get it to go. Elliott right back in front of the rim. Bounce pass on the floor, loose, fought for. Terrell comes down with it, gets it to Elliott. Back to Wilson, 3-point shot by him, short. Pekka feeds it ahead to Doherty. Doherty with a left-handed jam. And the Indians lead 54-18. Gives a cheer from the crowd. Elliott with basketball. Feeds it back up top. 3-point shot from the right wings. Well short. Doherty comes out there with it again. Doherty pushes the ball down the floor. Loses control of it. Now the ball's loose. Hutcherson knocks it out of bounds. It'll go back to Oswego. Oswego basketball as Harati checks into the game for Oswego. Checks in for Wilson. Terrell feeds it in to Simmons. 5:40 left to go in the third. 54-18. Terrell loses it. Bounce pass inside to Elliott. Back to Terrell. Now Simmons with it. Feeds it over to Walker. Walker down to Haradi. Haradi drives a baseline. Short. No good. Fights for it. Hutcherson comes out there with it. Now Pekka chases it down. Pekka behind the back dribble up by the timeline. Picked up out there by Terrell. Feed inside to Hutcherson. Spin move in front of the rim. Shot good by Grant Hutcherson. Good move by Hutcherson. Back down the court comes Simmons with the basketball. Doherty with the steal. He's going to be fouled up front by Walker. And it'll be St. Paul basketball on the sideline. First team foul the second half on Oswego. Second on Walker. Pekka with the basketball. Feeds it in the backcourt to Bourne. Bourne above the timeline, back to Pekka. Indians being patient against this 3-2 zone. Gives it to Hutcherson, back out to Bourne. Lob inside to Doherty, no good. Hutcherson comes down with it. Feeds it back to Doherty. Back to Bourne, shot on the way, no good. Anthony Albertini, nice rebound, put back good. On the weak side rebound by Albertini. 4:03 left to go in the third. 58-18. Indians up by 40. Three-point shot on its way off. No good. Arati fights for it. Anthony Albertini comes out with it. Feeds it to Pekka. Pekka pushes the ball up the floor. Kicks it out to Doherty. Doherty into the rim. Out to Bourne. Bourne back to Doherty. Cross court pass to Albertini. Shot up and in. Good backdoor pass to Anthony Albertini. 3:33 left to go in the third. 60-18. Indians up big. St. Paul up big.
St. Paul looks like a different team on offense when they've got a lot of confidence in a big lead like this.
Bad pass. Albertini with the steal. Feed ahead to Doherty. Doherty loses it against the backboard as Pekka tries to find him on the lob. Steal in there by Pekka again. Pekka pushes the ball up the floor again. Layup no good, but he's fouled. As Caleb Lemons, Kenny Haney, Adam Albertini, and Easton Dent all checked into the game for the Indians. And
was he fouled?
Hutcherson stays into the game. Well, I don't know what
Could
happened.
have been fouled, so Oswego ball.
What the heck did happen?
I don't know what happened. Maybe he knocked it out of bounds. Turnover.
Out on St. Paul, gives it back to Oswego. I'm sorry, I thought there was a foul called. I was waiting for it to come to the scores table. Haradi gets past the Indians, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Oswego. 2:23 left to go in the third. As Goddard with a basketball, three-point shot from the left wing off the back iron. Oswego Hinman gets his own rebound. Putback is good, 60-20. St. Paul leads. Haney with the basketball. Feeds it up top to Adam Albertini. Lob inside to Hutcherson. Spins to the middle of the rim. He traveled. And it's going to go back to Oswego on the turnover by Grant Hutcherson. As Goddard, this is the first time I've ever seen a running clock in the third quarter.
That's what I wondered why we got. Must be a 40-point rule.
2-3 zone applied by the Indians here. Haradi gets past a couple of them. Shot up on its way, no good. Rebound, Elliott. Put back, no good, but he's fouled. So, excuse me. I don't even. Jump ball was the call.
Yeah, St. Paul ball.
Possession arrow goes to St. Paul. Again, thought he called a foul, but he called a jump ball. Dent tied up Elliott. So good job by Easton Dent. Getting his hand on the basketball. Dent with the basketball. Cross-court pass to Albertini. Into Bradshaw, who's into the game now. And Adam Albertini hits a three. 63-20. Under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Hinman off of Bradshaw. Chase Bradshaw into the game for the Indians. So right now it's Albertini Lemons, Chase Bradshaw, Kenny Haney, and Easton Dent. Three-pointer on the way by Oswego, off the rim, no good. Adam Albertini comes out there with it. Albertini ahead to Haney. Haney to Lemons, backdoor or layup is good. Oh, it's Chandler Bradshaw, excuse me, number 30 into the game. You think by now I'd know. 54 is Chase. 30 is Chandler. Foul on St. Paul is going to send Elliott the line to shoot two. 6 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Elliott at the line to shoot two. First shot is on its way and good. 65-21. St. Paul in control of this game. Elliott settles in for his second. It's on its way. And good. And that's the end of the third quarter. 65-22. St. Paul leads. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, we're underway here in the fourth quarter. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. St. Paul with the basketball. Pekka with a shot, no good. Tapped around. Oswego comes out there with it. It's Goddard with the basketball, guarded by Haney. He swats it up in the air and out of bounds. 7 minutes left to go here in the ball game. 65-22. St. Paul leads. Goddard with the basketball for Oswego. Back into Elliott.
Standing by himself under the basket.
And he converts from the block. Anthony Albertini over to Brendan Doherty. Crosses over into the lane. Out to Albertini. Three-point shot on the way. Well short. No good. Rebound Oswego. And that's going to be Goddard coming down with the basketball. He feeds it off to Henneman. But he travels with the basketball, so turnover on the young freshman. Gives it back to St. Paul as five new players coming in for the Indians. Chandler Bradshaw, Adam Albertini, Caleb Lemons, Grant Hutcherson, and Easton Dent. Bradshaw brings the ball down, feeds it to Hutcherson in the corner. Back out to Lemons, cross-court pass to Adam Albertini, into Bradshaw, shot on the way, good, from just inside the elbow. Man, Bradshaw boys are starting to stretch up in the air.
Yes, they are.
Mike. Goddard with the basketball. Couple ball fakes. Lemons swats it up in the air. Ends back up into Gray, who just checked into the game's hands. And it's going to be out of bounds on Oswego, so it'll go back to St. Paul. With 5:32 left to go in the game, St. Paul leads 67-24. I want to welcome everybody to join us Friday night as Yates Center comes to town. This will be a tough matchup for the Indian boys. I know Yates Center's boys, pretty good ball club. Bradshaw tries to bounce pass inside to Hutcherson. Ball's loose on the floor. Oswego comes out of there with it. Nimiskern with the ball. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by St. Paul, so it'll stay with Oswego. And after Yates Center Friday night, Mike, just one more game next Thursday. Crest at St. Paul Senior Parent Night.
Seems like we just started. Now here we are almost to the end again.
We look forward to honoring the seniors. 3-point shot on the way by Oswego. Off the rim, no good. As Chase Bradshaw and Hayden Smith checked into the game for the Indians. So both of the Bradshaw boys on the floor for the Indians. Chase and Chandler. 3-point shot on the way, no good short. Chase Bradshaw with the rebound, feeds it ahead to Lemons. Lemons out to Chandler. Bradshaw to Hayden Smith. 3-point shot, no good short. Need to set his feet a little better. Easton Dent gets rebound. Good rebound by the Bradshaws. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Hayden Smith. But good job by Chandler Bradshaw fighting for a rebound in there. As subs come in for Oswego also. That's going to be number 45, Zhang, in the game. Is the Z silent there, Mike? Is it Hagen?
If you say so.
Okay, thanks for your help. Goddard comes down with it.
Yeah, I think so.
And number 14, Thomas, with the basketball for Oswego, as a lot of subs in the game for each team. Bradshaw with the rebound. That's Chase Bradshaw. He pushes the ball hard up the floor, gets it poked away from behind. Knocked out of bounds by Thomas. So it'll stay with St. Paul with 3:18 left to go in the game. Kenny Haney set to put the ball in play for the Indians. Backdoor pass into Chandler Bradshaw. Easton Dent, 3-point shot, no good. Good rebound by Haney. Put back, no good. Thomas right back down with the basketball. Feeds it over to Goddard. And he's going to walk with the basketball as Adam Albertini checks into the game for Easton Dent. 67-24. Bradshaw. Chase Bradshaw with it. Lobbing over the head of Chase Bradshaw from Albertini. Turnover on the Indians. St. Paul gives it back to Oswego. 2:29 left to go in the game. Stick around for a KW Trucking postgame show and our D-Rail Commodity Player of the Game. Mike's going to have to start brainstorming on the D-Rail Commodity Player of the Game here.
See if we take a look down the list. Got quite a few Indians with some points on the board and done a lot of things on offense.
Shot on the way and good. 3-pointer. Finally, Oswego hits a 3. Haney with a layup. Tried to dunk it, kind of halfway. Got a two-handed dunk as Adam Albertini feeds it ahead to Haney. Haney this time, leaves no doubt about it. He gets the two-handed jam. 71-24. St. Paul leads. Gets the crowd excited.
Well, a game like this, when it's a lopsided score, sometimes that's what it takes to keep everybody excited about being here.
Bradshaw with the rebound. Feeds it ahead to Albertini, but too far over his head. So these young Indian boys need to slow down a little bit, take care of the basketball in a fast break. So right now we've got Chase and Chandler Bradshaw into the game. Hayden Smith, Caleb Lemons, and Adam Albertini. So look to the future here as the Indians stay in that 2-3 zone. 3-pointer put up by
Zhang.
And he misses. Rebound comes back down to the Indians. Lemons goes up above the timeline. Just happy to dribble it out here with 48 seconds to go. 71-24. So nice victory for going to be a nice victory for the Indian boys. Offensively looked better here tonight as Albertini about throws it out of bounds. So shooting percentage a little better tonight. Ought to work a little bit of confidence, but we got a very good Yates Center team coming to town here Friday night. So Bradshaw into the lane, left-handed shot up and in with 20 seconds left to go. 73-24. Goddard with the basketball. This is the only matchup. Usually 2 matchups with Oswego every year. Only 1 with this expanded Three Rivers team. Sometimes you don't get to play everybody twice. So Yates Center, another two more Three Rivers League foes coming in. Yates Center and Colony Crest. So St. Paul comes out with a nice victory, 73-24. We'll be back with our final game stats after this 1 minute timeout. It was St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Oh, we're going to go ahead and sign off on the live stream. Thank everybody for watching us on the live stream. Join us Friday night as Yates Center comes to town. We'll be on the air about 5:45.